Well, hello folks, welcome back to episode 40 of this Tennis Manager 2021 save. I'm the Custard Prophet, and we are returning to the Custard Tennis Academy at the end of Season 3. This is going to be a slightly different type of episode. Normally I'm showing you some gameplay. We're not doing that at all today. We're kind of going to have a look at the season, look at the end of the season, how things went, and think about things going forward, kind of more of a summary type video, and also thinking what we are going to be doing in the coming season in the academy. So probably a lot shorter than usual, but let's get into it. Let's start with having a look how the season finished for both Jack and Harry. So I think the last time, in fact, the season's still going for Harry. Actually, he's got another game to play, but I think we showed you this last time. But I'll just let you have a little look at this. In this Pro 80 event, Harry was 9th seed, won all the way through, beating Pablo Angular in the final, who is ranked a little bit higher than him. It's a massive thing for Harry, and we'll see why that is shortly. Following on from that, he had a couple of weeks off, which seems very fair, and then played in Italy, getting through to the quarterfinals. So he is certainly improving. All the time does he improve. Actually lost to a wild card. I mean, looking at the players he beat and the players that the player he beat there, 199th in the world. That's pretty good. But didn't quite make it through in his quarterfinal match against the Russian wildcard, who duly got knocked out by Del Potro shortly after that. So that's Harry. He has had a good season, and we'll see that in a second. Let's just have a look how Jack's season finished. So last time we were together was the Kremlin Open, this Masters 250 event. Got all the way to the final and then lost to this French lad who was ranked lower than him in the final. Played really well to get to this stage, beat some great players, and just for whatever reason just fell apart at the last hurdle. Following on from that, we played in the Vienna Open. Again, this was an MTL Masters 500 event, so step up. And again, in this tournament, we beat Dan Evans in the last one, and we beat him again in this one. 6-2, 7-6. Really quite impressive. Came up against the 9th ranked Yannick Siena from Italy, and in the end we failed there. 6-3, 6-4. It was actually not a bad game. We just in both sets gave him a little bit of a head start, so I felt maybe we could have got a little bit closer, but I think he was always the favourite to get through that. But getting through almost the quarterfinals in a tournament of this size is not bad. In the Paris Open, the Masters 1000 event, we got another solid performance in the first round against Carlos Alcaraz, ranked slightly higher than us. And then we had a game against, I thought this was a winnable one, against Christian Garbin, who was ranked 16th in the world. It was really quite close. We lost 6-4, 7-6. Again, we gave too many chances away early and didn't make the most of them. So we would have played Rafael Nadal if we'd have got through that as well. So that was disappointing. And then we had one more tournament left in the season. So this was the Houston Open. I expected to do a little bit better here, I'll be perfectly honest. We were top-ranked seeds at MTL 125 event. We won through the first match against 139th ranked player, 6-2, 7-5. I think we've played Nick Hurt before. Though we played Shaun from South Korea, beat him 6-2, 6-3, and very disappointingly played Brandon Nashamara and lost in 3 sets to him. We had a chance to get through it, and I really feel if we'd have won through that, we'd have probably gone on to win the whole thing. Well, it was a tricky tie, the final one against Tiafai, but we weren't quite at the races. It would have been nice to finish off the year with a victory, a tournament win in an MTL Pro 125 event, but we weren't able to do it. So year ends, And let's have a look how both of our players sit in terms of ranking and how far they've come. We'll start with Jack, and you can see here, I think he's certainly developing. We've been working on his serve, and you can see that that's definitely improved. His level's still 2.5 stars, but he's got a good, solid ability all round. Again, we've not focused much on the volleying, but he's got a 10 for volleying, which isn't bad. Maybe we could work up this backhand, and maybe that should be a focus for next year. Contract-wise, he's contracted until 2026. So we've got 3 years left of Jack, be 3 years. I'm not quite sure how that's worked out, but that is the thing. And I've been pretty pleased with that. You can sort of see he's been getting the money in, and we'll have a look at finances in a second, but that's been going pretty well. I'm not sure how well that will work over the December period. We are going to be losing money, I imagine, there, but we've got a good chunk in the bank to make it okay. As for Harry, he's got a long way to go. He's got a hard serve power, but he is really not the strongest of players, and he's up to 191st in the world, so he is in the top 200, which is, I think, pretty impressive. He will be with us for 1 more year, and I'm not sure we'll keep him on after that. We'll look maybe to look elsewhere. I think I don't see us developing him an awful lot, but we'll have a look also at maybe potential people that we can bring in, but that's just a disaster as well. We get 55% of his revenue, but he doesn't make an awful lot, so it's not terrible. You can see he's not making a lot of money, but he's not really that great. So we'll just have a look at his at him here. You can see his development over time. So this is a kind of nice little graphic here. You can see he is developing over time. It's not a fast development. Physically is where he is strongest, but I'm not quite sure what empty means. But technically, where you want him to be strong, he is not strong at all. So that's a bit of a problem. This is his end of season stats. You can see, I think he got to 1 final that we saw recently, and he won that, which was good. Yeah, that is nice, and this is good as well. So you can see his development here. So he joined us, I think we looked at this last time. I think it was here when he joined us. We improved him to 444th. Massive improvement there, and we another massive improvement this time round. So that's really great to see. So he's sitting in the top 200, which is absolutely fantastic. We've made a huge it's made a huge difference for us. Wins in the Hamburg Open, and that's really it. In the match and things that matter, he has won a couple of the weaker tournaments. You can see here that don't really count for an awful lot, but a good season for Harry. In terms of Jack, how's he got on? Well, we've not really improved him, and this has been the disappointment. He's been sitting around this between about 45th and 39th every single time, and we just not improved that. We're yet to get to the round of 16, and that might be a bit of a problem in a major tournament. We want to do that. We've only done that once in a Masters 1000 event. He has got to a quarter final here though, in Queens in the Masters 500, and a couple of finals in the Masters 250 events. So that's pretty good. He did get, and I forgot about this. So the biggest win he's had was this win in France for a Masters 125 event, and won the Liberec Open as well a little bit earlier on. So a couple of wins in the year, but we almost got wins in some of the bigger tournaments, which would have been pretty big for us. I think this was probably the Queen's rise in there. So you can see his development has been quite good. I think this was the injury that cut him down. It does make a big difference. But you can see we have been working heavily on the physical stuff, and we have been working quite heavily on the technical stuff, and you can see that as it's kind of dividing away from the mental average. So we're putting a little bit more effort into getting those technicals up. We'd like to get maybe one or two of these up to over the Christmas period to the next level. I'm not sure if it makes a big difference getting up to the next level, or it's just kind of the gradual thing. Okay, so that's the two players. I think both of them have. I think certainly Harry, it's been a big success. I think Jack, it might be feel that we've stagnated a little bit, and I'd be really interested to hear what you think about that. So a couple of other things to look at. So we've got 3 years to make this happen. We've got to get him in the top 35 in the world. We've got 3 years to do it, so it's not going to be too bad. And a Grand Slam, we've got to get him into the round of 16. I think we can manage both of those things. I think both of those are very, very reachable. That's Jack's what he's needed, and Harry. Well, we've already kind of achieved everything here. He wanted to reach the rank 400. We are way below that. Reach a semi-final in a Pro 80 event. We reached a final, and improve the national ranking. Wow. Okay. Well, I don't think how we were much to do with that, but we are now ranked 11th in the world. So that is good. So that's where we are at the minute. Let's have a look at the academy. So we've pretty much completed everything that we were supposed to do. Financial objective is completed. We've reached level 2 of the medical centre, which is great. And we need to have at least one player at the end of the season, which we've got 2, so that's great. We haven't yet increased the reputation of the academy, and that is confusing to me because I felt we had. So looking at our academy, we are currently sitting in 2 tennis balls. Now I think we could potentially get this up a little bit more because I think the team, when we get on our 3rd player, that will improve that. But there is work to do there. There's a lot of work to do there. I don't know what talent zone is. So the problem we have is we've only got 3 in there, and we are struggling to sign up some of the better players. So we need to improve the reputation. I guess the 2 there are linked together. So I guess that takes us nicely on to players that we're trying to bring in. And this has been a bit of an issue because we've been looking at British players. That's what we're focusing on, and you can see pretty much everyone we have evaluated, they're all pretty rubbish. So for example, this guy Anton Majevic, he's 22, so I think he's probably he's a fair bit forward. What do you think? Is this someone worth doing? He just seems a lot weaker than Jack. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think of this guy? I'm not even sure if he would be interested, but he is a possibility for our 3rd player. He's up to 261st in the world, but I think he is our best possibility. I did want to bring in a lady, but everyone I've pretty much looked at, other than Emma Raducanu, isn't interested. Is no good. And Emma Raducanu is she's not interested, so that's a bit of an issue. So I'm not quite sure what to do about that. We're carrying on evaluating players. Do we bring somebody in just for a season next year? Maybe that 261st player, but is that just not gonna? Is he gonna make money for us? Probably not. But if we bring him in, is that going to increase the reputation of us, and then is that going to improve our ability to get other players in? Don't know. Lots of things I don't know, but I'll be interested to hear what your thoughts are. on this, because I'm a bit stuck with where to go with finding another player. Do we just bring someone in like this person, Eva Shaun, 18-year-old? We still don't know an awful lot, and we are currently looking at her. There is something there. So we've got some information. Returns and volleys are up to 10. Tactical skills up to 14. That's pretty good. So that determines how fast the player learns the game plan. So that's kind of important. So maybe we wait to see how this works, and then maybe propose a contract with one of these youngsters. I don't know, and I'd be really interested to hear what your thoughts are on that. I think the final thing I want to look at is the finances of the academy, and you can see here that the balance is kind of just sitting in this area here. We are not really making money, but we're not really losing money, and I'm really not certain whether bringing another player in there with the other expenses of contracts for staff and stuff like that is going to be a good idea or a bad idea. I just don't have an answer for that. Yeah, as I said, it's a little bit of a different episode. Just wanted to kind of go over things, talk about my thoughts a little bit. I think it's been a reasonably successful season, but I think there is room for improvement, and I think where to improve is around the training. I think we've got more that we need to do there. Infrastructure, I'm not sure what we can do at this moment. I don't think we can do anything unless we get a chunk of money coming in from benefactors, which we've had in the past. So we'll see what happens there, and if we do that, then we'll come back and talk about what we're going to improve. But yeah, I think it has to be around the training and for Jack, and we'll maybe even the coaches. Maybe that's another place we could improve, and we'll have to have a look at that. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you for the next one. Goodbye.